Hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm JonnyJargon, and I'm here to ask the critical questions about games. Today, we're taking a look at one of the games that I was originally super excited for, but over the past few months, my excitement has slowly subsided. That's right, today I'm talking about GTA 6, and why everything the gaming industry has demonstrated time and time again has told me that GTA 6 should fail, or at least be a disappointment, unless it really is the game we all want it to be, the game we deserve. So, if you are new here, please consider watching the whole video before liking and subscribing, because I would like you to feel like I have earned your subscription by respecting your time and making you think more critically about games. Let us begin. It has been nearly 13 years, 13 long years, and apparently GTA 6 is just around the corner. Let's hope it isn't delayed or anything, but I can't help but to feel like something isn't right about GTA 6. The no disc or physical media situation for a game that is well known for being on consoles. There is no gameplay for the console version, the PC version of GTA 6 and the online is nowhere to be seen. The last decade of updates for GTA Online has all but destroyed the game's progression, value and sense of wonder. And finally, every game company that has released a game with this many red flags has always something to hide. In this video, I want to discuss what GTA 5 and GTA 5 Online were like at launch, talk about my relationship with GTA 5 Online, the gaming landscape as a whole back in 2013, and how things have changed over the years, and finally ask you all some hard-hitting questions about GTA 6 and the hype surrounding it. If anyone has watched me for a few months now, then you know I like to talk about my time playing games and give some anecdotal stories about my experiences with a game. In this case, my time playing GTA 5. This will make sense later. GTA 5 was released back in September 17th, 2013 for both the PS3 and Xbox 360. The campaign for GTA 5 is your standard Rockstar Game Studios affair, with an engaging story, flawed but lovable characters, and an open world that is designed to be void of interaction because the game is designed around the player making their own fun. Sadly, this means that you only will be shooting up the place and trying to survive the endless hordes of police trying to kill you, and that's it. Yes, the game has side quests and some side activities, but these don't feel like part of the game, and instead, they feel like separate minigames, like golf, tennis, or yoga. The side activities that are related to the game are multiple types of race courses, clothes shopping locations, and hunting, but these don't do a good enough job to separate themselves from the base game, because the story of the game has the players doing all of these things anyway. If anyone is watching that is new to Grand Theft Auto, and wonders why I'm talking about the story and the online as if they're separate things, well that's because they are. But GTA 5's story feels like it was handcrafted to allow the player to go on an incredible adventure, while the online was designed to hurt you, make you regret playing it, and hope that video games never go back to this type of design philosophy ever again. Let's talk about GTA 5 Online, and my experiences with it back in 2013 to 2014. I'm not going to mention any of my experiences of the online past 2014, because I stopped playing the game by this point. Doing research for this video and playing the game again after 11 years made me realize I definitely made the right move there. Oh, and a big thank you to my good friend, HumbleGoat, for allowing me to use his account and get footage for you. I gotta come clean. I was young when I got GTA 5, but I had an ultimate trump card that no age rating policy can fight against. That's right, my older brother. He is 5 years older than me, and he got GTA 5. He played it for the story, and I remember sitting next to him in awe for how good the game looked, for the sheer amount of vehicles you can drive, and the incredible moments that the story has to offer. The way we played games as a family back then is very different to now, and a part of me does miss it. Back to the game. It definitely seems like GTA 5 was going to be his game, but then the online released, and I didn't stop playing it. So much freedom and so many people to interact with. It really did feel like the future of video games, and I was at the beginning of it. It was incredible. I will say that I was very good at the online. That's not a brag, and instead, I kinda think that was more of a sad thing, because I spent hours upon hours playing every day. Have you ever tried to go back into a multiplayer game after giving it a break for a few weeks, and finding yourself being mercilessly killed over and over again by the sweats and the 14-year-old kids with no job, and way too much time on their hands? Well, I was that kid, and no, it's not a good thing. Sorry everyone I relentlessly sniped without a single thought. I leveled up so much that I unlocked everything and would farm the mission Rooftop Rumble towards 20 times a day, if not more, to get tons of money, get the best weapons, upgrades and vehicles that I could and would use against other players. I would deliberately stand on high-up buildings and snipe players, making them lose $500 every time they were killed by someone in the overworld. I'd play with my friends and take advantage of exploits and glitches, like the car duplication glitch way back when. I would annoy players, make them put a bounty on me, just so I can go into out-of-bounds areas and hide in a building's geometry, so the in-game 24-hour bounty timer would run out, and I get their money that they put on me, all while killing whoever tried to get near me because the game was designed badly, or I was a scumbag player. You decide. I remember that I would jump over the fence to break into the army base, drive over to the jet and steal it, doing a full spin around so I could shoot down the enemy jet that spawns in and tries to stop you from leaving. I would fly high into the clouds with that jet, pay the NPC on my phone to make the character icon go incognito so I'll go completely off the radar, and I would fly down to other players in their own jets and use the guns to shoot them down. I was the type of player that would use and abuse systems to get the most out of them and the most out of the game. No, I can't stress this enough, I was not a good person when playing GTA 5 online. Goddamn, reminiscing about this, I realised I was a griefer and I couldn't be more happy about it. Those were the days. Or was that just the game and I was playing as intended? I played so much of the game like a sweat that I burnt myself out on tryharding, so I came to love the small stuff about GTA Online. My favourite thing to do was cycle around on the BMX bike and go into the subway systems, drive the monster truck and listen to the rock radio station, or fly the crop duster over the desert and chill. It was at this point I stopped playing GTA 5 like a game to grind and get on the forever progression treadmill, and I started to go with the flow, relax and have fun, not at the expense of other players of course. This sounds all well and good, but this is the point where I lost interest with GTA 5 online, and this is where I started to pay attention to the game's problems, and the longer I looked, the harder it became to not notice them anymore. During my time playing GTA 5 online, I experienced so many issues with the online game that it became harder to ignore. The long loading times, and the fact that I and many other players would be sitting there, looking at the in-game clouds, waiting to join a server. This was also not helped by the fact that GTA 5 started launching the campaign when you would boot up the game, and you would need to manually select the Play GTA 5 Online button, or be forced to sit on a longer loading screen to get into the main game, then jump over to the online. Other problems were that Rockstar Game Studios launched the online mode while not thinking about how many players would be trying to get into the online servers, so there were constant server crashes. Players being disconnected and many reports of players losing their characters due to cloud server storage issues. You could say this was back in 2013, surely the devs have fixed these problems by now. But I and many other people remember similar stories with Red Dead Redemption 2 online. Rockstar is a company that doesn't release games often, so they don't get a lot of feedback from the community when it is needed to make sure problems like this don't go through into the final product, and I fear that GTA 6 Online, if there is a GTA 6 Online, more about that later, will almost certainly have the same problems as all of Rockstar's other games. Speaking of Rockstar and the type of company they truly are, it was during May of 2014 when the best mission, and my personal favourite mission to get money from, Rooftop Rumble, was severely nerfed, leaving the mission in a terrible state that meant players would try and avoid even doing the mission because of how hard the mission became, and the extremely high chance of failure, combined with the pitiful low money and XP gain it gave the player, made this nerf feel more like an attack on the player base instead of reining in something too strong. I bring this up because the way that Rockstar handled this nerf felt more like an act of prejudice against the players that were farming it. They could have reduced the amount of money and XP gain and called it a day, but this felt like they didn't want players getting money too fast, or at least getting money without buying their shark cards. This is GTA's version of microtransaction currency, designed to obfuscate the value of items in-game. Remember, at this time, making money was extremely difficult in GTA 5 Online if you didn't fork over the cash. Something me and many other players felt fatigued by was the amount of activities available during the game's early years, and the fact that there wasn't much to do in GTA 5 Online. You could run around the open world, attacking players or making friends, but let's be honest, most of the time you'll be shot at for even getting near them. You could get a car or any other type of vehicle and drive it around, but once again, you almost certainly will be attacked by another player, especially if you are driving a weirder vehicle like the bus or the HVY dump. You could rob stores in the game, but they gave you very little money, and only the players that picked up the money would get it, so doing this with friends is pointless. Finally, the most interesting thing to do in the open world was break into the army base and see if you could steal a jet or other military vehicles, or to fight against the endless waves of police just to see how long you could survive. That's really kind of it in terms of open world content. It really was that bare bones. Things mostly stayed the same when doing missions, but these are more detailed in their design, sometimes, and offer actual rewards. These missions include contact missions, like Rooftop Rumble as I mentioned earlier, where the player, or players, must complete an objective to obtain the rewards. This would always result in XP and money gain for the player. The players could also do races that appear all over the game's overworld, but bring you to a separate instance where the races take place. The game also has spin-off game modes like Survival, where you shoot your way through several hordes of enemies, and Deathmatch, where the player would join teams and kill each other, getting a certain amount of points until their team won. The usual PvP or shooter game modes. After doing these missions, you would use the XP and money you gained to get more levels, unlock new missions and collect new gear and clothes. You could even buy a nice apartment. And that is where the content for GTA 5 Online ended for its first 2 years. If it lasted longer, I don't know, because GTA 5 released on the PS4 towards the end of 2014, and I had no intention of rebuying GTA 5 again just to continue playing the online. Taken as a whole, this wasn't so bad. The game got occasional updates and added some new stuff like cars, vehicles, clothes, and missions, but all of this was ruined by how many cheaters and glitches there were during this time. Players making themselves immortal and would never stop killing you until you leave the server or stop playing, the huge amounts of griefers in the game, yes, I was one of them, how easy it was to lose money in game and how hard it was to make money without spending real cash on shark cards that is. GTA 5 was always a pay-to-win game, and that made spending so much time in the endgame have less value, because players that pay get to have more fun early, get to farm new players until they get bored and stop playing, and all that is left are the few players that stuck around, thinking everything would work out if they just played long enough. Other problems were with Rockstar's bad server sustainability and long loading times, as I mentioned before. All of this made GTA 5 Online a pretty miserable place to be. And to think, all this happened and there was still no PC version of GTA 5 in sight. I want to focus on the things that always bugs me about GTA 5 Online, and why I personally don't think they worked back then, and why I hope these elements don't appear in GTA 6. Let us begin. Starting with the character movement. All of Rockstar's games have this, but the physics engine they use means that player characters move very slowly, especially compared to how large the game world is. And when they are trying to grab an item or interact with something in the environment, the player character moves so sluggishly that you are almost guaranteed to get gunned down by another player. Guns and vehicles move so much faster than the player does. This makes sense for realism, but GTA 5 Online is definitely not realistic, and the player suffers for it. Speaking of GTA trying to be realistic, there are so many animations of the character getting into vehicles, eating food, climbing over fences, and many more, that the player feels so slow and unresponsive. The longer GTA 5 has gone on, the faster its vehicles have gotten, the deadlier its weapons have become, and the more interactions the player needs to do, but the player character always stays the same, slowly moving over the game's map like an ant in a large garden, just waiting to be picked off by any birds in the area, or in this case, another player. Oh god, the cover system. So, here's something everyone will agree with. All of Rockstar games, going back to GTA Vice City and maybe even further, all use the same inaccurate and buggy cover and aim down sight system. Every gunfight feels the same: see cover, move towards it, take cover, shoot the enemies from cover, with the help of the very generous auto aim. It really feels like the devs added in so many vehicles because they have no idea how to improve their engine's gunplay, or the moment-to-moment gameplay of GTA, or any other of their games for that matter. I'm looking at you, Bully and Red Dead Redemption. Oh, this one will get everyone eventually. The campaign of GTA doesn't put the player in any situation where the player needs to utilize everything at their disposal, combining all the mechanics and systems the player has learned because the combat sandbox isn't deep enough to allow this to happen. However, this means that when all the same gameplay situations are put into the online setting, and players must complete tasks with other online players, this shows how outdated the gameplay of GTA is. You need to move somewhere fast without dying immediately, and be able to get over any hurdles the developers have set for you, all while dealing with other players. It leads to stressful and exhausting gameplay moments. That doesn't make the player feel like they learnt anything, for both winning or losing. The combat and core gameplay loop needs to be dramatically improved. We still have not seen any gameplay for GTA 6 during the making of this video. Editor note: as I was making this video, Rockstar announced an extended look at GTA 6 on the 27th of August. I'm still going to leave this video as is because we don't know if the extended look includes the online and monetization, and whether or not the extended look can be additional 1 or 2 minute extra minutes of cutscene footage. This is the time where Rockstar can prove me wrong and show meaningful gameplay improvements and a massive look into the online of GTA 6. Please, Rockstar, don't prove my concerns right. I want to be wrong in this situation. Back to the video. The gaming landscape was very different back in 2013. Games were getting bigger, developers were getting more scummy and even more predatory with their business practices, players themselves didn't know how to combat these business practices, and players weren't educated in video games and the ecosystem surrounding them. This meant that a lot of players thought that everything wrong with the games industry that they were experiencing was normal, and just a part of playing video games, no matter how bad things got. Oh, and another thing, back then, players thought that legacy gaming media coverage was something they could trust, no matter how many times the customers were lied to. News outlets would lie to customers all to keep their access journalism. I mean, I get it. I would love to be invited to these events as well. Things have changed dramatically over the past 12 years in gaming, and definitely for the better. Customers are more informed, many more people watch specific gaming YouTubers or watch people play their favourite games on stream. The concept of the patient gamer is something that is now being embraced by a huge portion of gamers. You all win as a customer if you wait for reviews. Oh, and I guess what also does help is the fact that game prices are so expensive these days, as well as everything else in the world for that matter, so players are a lot more skeptical about their games and other products they buy. All of this is definitely a good thing, not the prices going up, that is. I bring this up because it feels like some people out there just throw away the teachings of a good and healthy game industry, and allow the sins of bad anti-consumer business practices to appear, just because it's Rockstar and GTA. Why are people so quick to praise GTA? Because Rockstar doesn't release games often. What does that mean? That means if Rockstar were releasing games in a similar fashion or time frame to Activision or Ubisoft or EA, players would be able to see the Rockstar game studios as no different from them, making lots of mistakes, and players can now see that these once giants of the gaming industry have now fallen so far. Rockstar is a company that has destroyed its goodwill with players, and has gone silent for nearly a decade since their last game, that being Red Dead Redemption 2, which also had a huge amount of problems with the base game and online version, all until Rockstar decided to stop supporting content for Red Dead Redemption 2 online. Every time I hear someone say, well, Rockstar can get away with it because it's GTA, reminds me of when we used to say Activision can get away with it because it's Call of Duty, Xbox can get away with it because it's Halo, and of course, Nintendo can get away with it because it's Pokemon or Zelda. None of these statements have made it to the modern day, all because these companies release their games and everyone can play them, see the problems, and talk about them. I have a very bad feeling we are going to see the repeating patterns of these bad companies doing the same scummy stuff once again. It's how people act. Listening to how people talk about GTA 6 is really weird. It's like going back to the early 2010s and hearing how people would talk about Bethesda or Ubisoft or even Hello Games. You would think that GTA 6 is the next coming of Christ, or everyone has suddenly forgotten the past 15 years of the gaming industry and everything bad they have done. Thinking about what people know, many people nowadays that have played GTA 5 online only know it through playing its modern day version with all of its updates for the PC version, that is, and watching their favourite streamers play it through the 5M role-playing server. Yes, I know that consoles have role-playing servers, but they aren't using the 5M or any other role-playing mods. When GTA 6 launches, players will just have the campaign. They will need to wait longer for the online version to release. Rockstar has still not said anything about GTA 6 Online, and the chances of it being a paid subscription is most likely. Then, players will need to wait for the game to come to PC. The chances of the PC campaign and the PC Online being released at the same time is likely, but that may not get around the subscription, and even then, players will still need to wait for the modders to create a new version of the 5M mod or any other role-playing mods that everyone needs to get in. And all of this is assuming that the game is coming to PC and the devs don't crack down on mod support like they have done in their past with GTA 5 and many of the other games. GTA 5 was released back in 2013. I've mentioned this before, but it was a very different time. The things that people could say, the things that people could do, the gaming landscape is very different now. If there was a feature that you liked in GTA 5, the chances of the developer who made that feature still being at the company is very slim. Many of the team over at Rockstar have left or have been fired from the company, due to many reasons. You can look into that yourself. Let's hope they can all find jobs once again and get back on their feet. Ask yourself right now, what do you want GTA 6 to be? What has been shown in the trailers that have proven you right? And what things are you making up in your heads just because you want GTA 6 to live up to the hype? If you want a good, expansive and rewarding progression economy, do you think GTA 6 will deliver? What if it doesn't? Will you still tell yourself that it is worth paying the money and playing the game for multiple years, even if that money is very pricey? If you want to play GTA 6 and know it has a fair and balanced in-game store filled with microtransactions that don't affect gameplay, would you stop playing it if you find out that the game is predatory and designed to bully you into spending more money? Is someone in the game better than you because they have more skill, or is someone in the game better than you because they have a deeper wallet? You, as a free-to-play player, can only speculate. If you find the game abusive or stressful, will you stop playing it to take care of yourself, or will you continue sinking your time into it all because someone told you to? These are but some of the questions you need to ask yourself when you're playing a game like this. Please don't fall for the sunk cost fallacy. Since we are on the topic of asking questions, I'll leave you with some questions you can ask yourself internally or talk about with your friends. Can a company that has not earned players' trust survive in the modern day? Is a game good when that game takes more than 7 years to release? What game was good that cost over 300 million to make, let alone 1 to 2 billion, if not more, for GTA 6? Is a game good when it has been delayed so many times? Is a game good when the lead developer or developers leave the company? Is a game good when a huge amount of developers themselves leave the company? Is a game good when it has mass firings at the company? Is a franchise still the same after a decade or more has passed? Is a game good when the trailers show no gameplay, no new mechanics, and no systems? Is a game good with developers that are known for predatory microtransactions and evil business practices? Does a game sell well when it only releases on certain platforms instead of a majority or all of them? People have lost trust in all Western AAA game companies, why is this one different? Is a game good when it doesn't give the players the full version of the game at a premium price point like $80, and then asks for more money to get the rest of those features? Is a game good when nothing about its technical performance has been revealed? And final question, who hyped up GTA 6? Should I talk about the no discs thing? I guess that's a topic for another day. Finally, I'm at the end of the discussion video. Believe it or not, this wasn't the original video I wanted to make, but so much time has passed. GTA 6 is just around the corner, hopefully, and all the red flags of bad AAA company in the modern day keep appearing. And at some point, well, I guess now, I just needed to talk about it. I'll leave this video by saying, if GTA 6 Online is the most amazing game ever, I'll metaphorically eat my hat. And I have no doubt that the campaign of GTA 6 will be good, but will it be better than GTA 5's campaign? That is yet to be seen. As you can see, my real worry with GTA 6 all surrounds the online components. I want it to be good, great even, but I can't see how that will happen. Not with all these issues, and not how weird Rockstar has been over the past few, well, decades. I want GTA 6 to be the next evolution of gaming, to fix all of the problems with GTA 5 and to fix all the problems with Rockstar, but right now, I don't see that happening. Please be good, GTA 6 Online. This is the game that we have been told we want, but is it the game we deserve? And with that, I have been JonnyJargon, and I hope you learnt something today, whether it has been to keep your hype in check, and to ask yourself, what do you want from GTA 6, or any other big gaming event release thing like this. Or I guess it's not that big, because it doesn't include the Switch or PC players for the time being anyway. Hopefully I have earned your subscription, your likes, your comments, and anything else YouTube adds, and I hope you've enjoyed your time here on my channel. Making these discussion style videos is a lot quicker and allows me to spend more time talking to you lads, so I think it's a win-win overall. But don't worry, I still have many ideas for all sorts of videos, and that the Let's Fix It video is on its way, but I had to rewrite it multiple times. Because of more news and information coming out about the game I'm focusing on for the Let's Fix It, so it might take a little longer than I originally hoped. As always, thank you for making it this far into the video, and thanks for bearing with me as I experiment around with different formats and styles of videos. Now, if only I could find time to make game reviews. Oh well, this discussion format definitely feels right, but I know I can improve. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now!